Hey everybody, Conodra here, back in Assetto Corsa, continuing on through the career mode. Last time we completed Intermediate Series 1. This time we're moving on to Intermediate Series number 2, which will have us in the AMG SLS, which is one of the new cars to Assetto Corsa when the full release candidates started coming out. That's something I want to remind everybody of, that these are release candidates. I don't know if I have been perfectly clear with that. So everything you see here is not actually considered to be actual full release Assetto Corsa. These are just candidates of the full release. So it's really close, but they may end up doing some tweaking to the game before they officially say that it's out. So some of my criticisms of like the career mode and things could be things that they are working on in the future. They might not be. I didn't know. But let us dive into the actual challenges of Intermediate Series number 2. And they look like they are all races in the AMG, obviously. So we got the Nurburgring, Imola, Silverstone, Spa, and Monza. Let's see, last time we did Nurburgring for sure. I don't think I did Imola, so we'll do Imola, Silverstone, and Spa, I think, are the three I will do because I need 2 bronzes and 1 silver to proceed. And I really look forward to doing some races on Spa. I don't know that we've had any in the career just yet. Me and Dux have spent a lot of time on Spa, just doing hot lap challenges and stuff like that. It's definitely my favorite track in the game, of the official Kuno Studios tracks. It's just beautifully done. It's everything that the old track maker and me kind of appreciates. Just the level of detail and just the way the track looks and behaves is awesome. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and jump into the race at Imola. It is going to be against a mixed field, I believe. And Imola is a track that I typically struggle with, so hopefully I can manage to control this somewhat hard to drive car here. Alrighty, as we get ready to take on 4 laps around the Imola circuit, so a rather short race, it looks like we're going up against kind of the normal competition we've been facing lately, some 458s. I wish I could see if they are, you know, crazy spec 3s or something like that, or stage 3s, but I don't think they are. These 1Ms are, so they could be pretty fast. And yeah, kind of the normal competition. GTE Evora, that's a pretty quick car as well. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, just had to do a quick restart there due to some audio issues. But in the short little bit I did get going there with no audio, instantly reminded of just how tricky this car is to drive. Apparently I just picked up a ton of damage with that slight little contact. No suspension damage, so it should be fine. But this car, it's not light. And that's... Oh, man, high contact race here. It's not light, and it is very long. So that means that when the weight starts moving around, it makes the car very squirmy and kind of unpredictable. It reminds me a lot of my favorite all-time car, the Viper, when the way that the nose is super long, the engine is kind of propped very short in the hood, so there's another foot in front of the engine basically, but that still makes the car handle in a very strange way. It has virtually no turn in. You have to get this thing lowered down before you turn in. You can't just turn it in and try and trail brake your way through a turn. It doesn't respond well to that, which is dramatically different than the cars I'm kind of used to driving. Those front two have checked out, haven't they? It's a very difficult turn to judge. This weird little chicane. Doesn't matter the car, it's always difficult to find your marks in there. It's a tricky little right-hand kink in a road car. In a race car, this is no big deal right here, but in the road cars, It's always kind of upsetting the car before you head into this left-hander. Even with my volume all the way up, I'm still having difficulty hearing the car and the tires. I need to adjust the in-game audio. Alright, how big of a lead do they have? What, 10 seconds or so? I mean, it wasn't a great first lap, but it wasn't terrible. 8.8. Yikes. I'd say we're not getting anything more than bronze in this one. It's definitely one of those balance issues I was speaking of. I could certainly drive better and try and make some of that up, though. See, that's kind of what I was meaning. I don't know if you could see, but the nose was just refusing to turn in there as I was still on the brakes. And it also seems to have a lot of rear brake to it. I'm not sure if that is more the weight transition or what. But the back end definitely wants to try and chase you around on the brakes, which is nice for turn in, but a little bit discomforting at times, like then. Great for drifting, not great for racing. I haven't driven this car very much, though, so it's quite the steep learning curve on a track that I overall do not enjoy. Alright, let's see if we can find a decent braking marker through here. One thing I've noted before is that the power curve of this car is very strange. It's quite flat. It makes a lot of power down low, it makes a lot of power up high. It gets you in trouble very easily because you think that you're buried down in the low RPM and you can just flat-foot it. But nope, it'll still spin them right up. And on the flip side, sometimes when you're in a high RPM and you're just kind of hanging RPM, when usually you wouldn't be getting a whole lot of torque increase or anything like that, it'll still spin them up. That's weird. It feels like there's like a patch of grass there or something. Maybe it's just a bump in the track, I'm not sure. I'll try and pay attention to my delta this lap and actually improve my lap time. That would be nice. I could stop chasing the stupid thing around. There we go. That was a nice increase. We're now 15 seconds behind. No! Nose said, I don't want to turn in. No thank you. So much for improving that delta. Another case where I think maybe turning ABS would be faster. But I'm keeping it at default. If the car has ABS, it's unlikely you would be able to deactivate it in real life, so we will live with it. And hopefully at Silverstone or Spa, that'll be a little easier to kind of get this car to behave. I've struggled at Imola with a Fiat, so it's not overly surprising that I'm struggling here with this. Spin them up. Is this lap 3 or lap 4? I really need to get a lap counter up on the screen. That would be helpful. Okay, that's what I was talking about with that chicane, or that little kink there. Oh, this is gonna kill me. I don't know which side is... I don't know which way is which with my gear shifters. Luckily, he stopped and just said, you know what, I'll give you a break. I hear his car audio more than mine. It's quite confusing. Huh, there must be some kind of spot in the track there, because I just noticed he, like, brake checked when he hit it. I don't know what that is. Maybe like a section of track that is mislabeled as grass instead of asphalt. Well, this lap's already kind of garbage, so I I just gotta try and hold on to this bronze the best I can. I am just driving like absolute crap right now, though. No doubt about it. Fighting it all over the place. It doesn't have any AR damage. I mean, I'm keeping that damage thing up, probably because my door is bashed in. Gonna have to use the explosive charge to get it to open. And you may not pass there. You may not. Defensive line much? Maybe. I really don't want to do this track again. I would like to keep this bronze. That was a little deep. Held on to it alright. Can't let it wash wide after here, so let's brake a little bit at the 250 there. Let it hang in the gear. He was on the brakes much earlier than I was, though. It's probably the way to go with this car. Jeez. It is a handful. But we have managed to salvage a bronze medal. Gold in this one would be a miracle. Okay, for this race, it looks like we're going to be going with a little bit different competition, but we do have an MP4 in there, which I think will be pretty tough competition for this car. Other than that, looks like maybe it's a little bit more balanced. We do need to get a silver, and this is probably the track I feel most comfortable trying to get that at. It's probably the track most suited to this car of the three that I'm doing. Let's see if we can get a decent start here. I have taken some fuel out of the car to try and get it to be a little bit more comfortable, because I'm really fighting this car with the weight and the weight transfer. So anything I can shed off of it, the better. That was ballsy, but it worked. Try and get through these Lotuses, which will really be no threat to me with their low straightaway speed. And this car just has tons of straightaway speed. No downforce and tons of power. It'll get moving. Okay, let's try and get it pointed straight. Get back to the gas nice and soon. That was good. Use a little draft. Still poke down the inside here. Come on, car, brake, please. Thank you. Beat up that time before a little bit there, but not enough. This is where I think he's going to stretch me. He's able to get to the gas so much sooner there. Yep. I don't know about the top speed of these two. I would imagine it's probably... Oh, that's going to be a penalty. Yep. Ah, crap on a cracker. No, I'm fine. Yeah, just use it. Use it as brakes. And still too fast into that turn. I'm gonna have blisters on my hands by the time this series is over. McLaren's just gone now. Jeez, Aloo. This is unbelievably hard to drive. This is easily the most hard to drive car in the game that I've found. I think even the Cobra has a little bit more of a tame driving style than this. I think the weight is 100% to blame for that. Because it really just feels like you're willing this thing through the turns. It's fighting you all the way. I don't know what AMG tuned with this car, but it feels like it was just the engine. Because it's got zero corner grip. And it is riding on semi-slicks, so it's not like we're on just regular road tires. Alright. Try and lock down this silver medal. Got a little bit of a gap. Try and brake nice and early. Drive like a sane person, or at least attempt to. That feels like it should be just fine through there, but it's just sideways. And once it's going sideways, it's gonna be that way for a while. The nice part is it's actually relatively easy to control sideways. It has a nice kind of counter-steer predictability. So it's not all bad. If this wasn't a race, I could probably be having a blast right now. You know, driving like this. But it is a race. I would like to win. And I don't want it to do that right now. So try to be very smooth with my inputs. Smooth as I can be, anyway. I am a very choppy, aggressive... Ooh, I thought that was going to be a penalty there. Choppy, aggressive steerer. That is something I've noticed in real life and in video games. More so in the video games than anything because, like in autocross, it's just so heavy. As Joe would say, this car's fat. Like at the beginning of an F1 race, car's fat. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, autocross, when I co-drive with people, I typically kind of rag the other people I'm driving with on their choppiness in their steering and how they need to slow down and be smoother with their inputs. I'm probably being a hypocrite during that because I'm sure some of the choppiness that is displayed in my steering in sim racing is seen there too. Unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to co-drive with anybody that I would consider to be... I don't know how to say this without sounding like real gloaty, but I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to co-drive with somebody who is better than me at autocross, who is more of a professional race car driver, to kind of rate my driving. So that's one of my goals in the near future, is to get in somebody else's car that is, I consider to be professional level, or have somebody drive mine. Something along those lines, to try and pinpoint how my actual driving is, because I have no idea. All I can do is compare to the other people I drive with, and it typically seems to be people that are less experienced than me, so it doesn't really help. Doesn't always mean they're slower than me. Sometimes bad driving can net you a good result. Being super aggressive and real choppy, sometimes you can get away with that. Gosh, this spot, every time the nose just stops turning. Out into the penalty zone we go. I've kind of gotten myself into a little bit of a quiet spot. I think the other SLS is just a few seconds behind me. That was this poor line right there. The fact that I'm going way green delta even with this terrible line shows just how poorly I'm driving. Clearly the AI car is having just as many troubles. Alright. Just try and back it down just a little bit. See, it's so confusing. That felt like I braked way too early for that turn. There goes our silver. Come on, get rid of the penalty. And it was just not doing a darn thing. So you just gotta put your foot into it and trust the ABS, which is no fun. It's very unpredictable when it's actually going to stop. Get off my tail, you pesky little Lotus. I'll outpower you. Let's go down a gear for every turn, so let's... gonna force myself to brake even more. Now let's go down one more even. Doesn't feel any faster, and it's still getting away from me, that's for sure. Wonder if I'm chewing these tires up or something. It definitely feels a lot worse than it did at the beginning of the race. It's only been 3 laps, so I can't imagine that's the case, but who knows? Made up a lot of time right there. It's probably going to be a little bit quiet through the end of the race, because I've got to really buckle down and try and get everything I can out of this car. Can't push wide here. Lift off a little bit. That was nice. There we go. Actually made the apex of that turn for the first time. Just trying not to screw up the chicane area. S's. Just let it carry that weight around. Talk myself through this here. It's like I'm talking myself off the edge of a building. Is this the last lap? I think it might be. In which case I am screwed because I am not going to catch him. That was a little deep. Managed to get it wound down though. It's definitely going to be our best lap. Might be too little too late. I'm here. It would be awesome if I knew how to count laps. Oh, there goes the nose. Still a good lap. Yep, that was it. Bronze again. It's all gonna ride on Spa now. Ugh. Alright, well, better here. We got up to 3rd this time, but then I got hit. Okay, just turned me. That's cool. That's totally cool. Kind of pitched it sideways through there. God. Okay, well, as much as I wanted to do the one at Spa there, it is simply not possible with, I guess, the level of difficulty I am playing on. This car, if it's a balance issue, I don't know. If I just can't drive something like this, it wasn't going to happen. So I have given up. I have come back to the Nurburgring GP track to go up against a field that is a little bit more balanced. There's still Hugh and his MP4. But all I need is a silver to continue on, and that is all I want. I want out of this car and onto the next group. So let's see how it goes. It's gonna be 4 laps around the GP circuit. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I really am starting to wonder. I was being very defensive about Kunos and their physics model early on as I was starting to drive the car, but now I'm really starting to wonder because some things about this car just seem like they might not quite be right. Because if this car actually drives like this in real life, it would kill people. That's about it. It would just absolutely murder people's faces off. That's how I would describe it. It's extremely unpredictable, and the brakes are just terrible. I can't get the hang of it. That's all there is to it. I would really like to blame the game, blame the car, blame all of that, but I just don't think I am driving well enough to try and rein this car in with no driver's assist and stuff like that. I'm sure if I threw traction control and stability control, stuff like that on, it would be possible. The car has the potential speed in it. Obviously it has the power. It has grip. It has huge semi-slicks on it. Just extracting that potential out of it has not been an easy task. I always did think gull-wing doors were stupid. Now I really do. Can I get the new one with the regular doors, isn't it? I think they renamed it. I think it's just called the GT or something like that. Staying off those curbs. This is probably where we're going to sit for the rest of the race, because I don't think there's any way I'm going to track down that MP4. Unless it's under braking like that. Yeah, I really, really struggle with the brakes. I struggle with braking enough, but they seem to brake just kind of hysterically early for the turns. Nice wheel spin on the curb there. Alright, this is feeling better. It felt better until right then. Just use every bit of that brake pedal and hope that it stops. I think the next batch, or the next series that we're doing, is our first, like, point series, which will be fun. Be a nice change. Something besides the repetitive nature of what it has become so far. And hopefully it's in a car that is more suited to my driving style. I can't remember what it's in. I'm thinking it's possibly in one of the junior Formula cars, like the Abarth one or something like that. Not sure. Actually, kind of reeling him in. All right. Well, I was until right here. Save it, save it, save it, save it, save it. Oh, that was close. Oh, those driver markers scared me. I thought somebody was behind me, but no, it was them going across the other side of the track. I'm a dingleberry. Alright, well, all of that ground I made up is now gone in one fell swoop. I don't know, it feels like I could possibly get there if I don't do any more drift montages. Don't make me pull out the Vez. I'll do it. I'll do it. I think that thing has better driving dynamics than this. Yeah, just use the engine to stop it. That'll work. I kind of did, actually. Maybe I need to be more aggressive with my downshifts. They're gonna give me flappy paddles, I better use them to full advantage. Alright. Probably about the same gap. 4 seconds, yeah. But I easily lost 2 or 3 in that sideways maneuver. Okay, that might have been a little too aggressive. A lot too aggressive, in fact. Oh, come on. Well, there goes any chance of catching him this lap, huh? I didn't lose too terribly much. They must, I don't know, I guess they use no ABS, because I see them lock up the brakes on cars that definitely have ABS. So I guess they're just tuned to drive differently. They drive with no driver's assists, if you will. Oof. Snappy moment. Almost 2 seconds down this lap on the Delta. Should make up some right here, though, without a big moment. He's smoking them tires. I don't know if that's brake lock up or what. He's just James Bonded me and making a smoke screen. Yeah, that's cool. That's how I wanted to take that. Yeah, it was a little early. Car does not reward braking early either. You almost kind of pay for it on exit. It likes having that weight transferred all the way to the front as you turn in. Okay. Brake right at the first marker. Still barely enough, but we got it mowed down. Let's see if we're still 4 seconds back. It's ugly through here. Probably going to be more than 4. 5.5. Well, balls. Oh well. Silver's the line aid. We'll brake here. 4 of the markers even appear. And it's still not enough. Yeah, when you have to brake before the brake markers even appear on the track, you've got not enough brakes in the car. 'Tis my opinion. Feels like it's getting worse, so I'm gonna say I have cooked the tires off of this thing. Now it's just driving like crap. So I will just finish this lap out, take my silver, hang my head low, and move on. Okay, well hopefully I'm gonna take the silver. I'll do stuff like that. Second place. Oh well. Silver medal. Okay, well this is going to be a wrap for this episode. We have achieved this series goal, which means intermediate series number 3 is opened. This one I don't look forward to returning to unless they do some balancing, because this one was definitely the worst one we've come across so far as the balance issue goes. Hopefully in the future things will turn around, but now we have the intermediate series number 3, which will take place in some Ferraris, and we have the Lotus Lightweight Trofeo, which will be a series championship, which is probably the one I'm most looking forward to. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do intermediate series number 3 next time. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you then.